Have you ever done everything right and still felt like a disappointment? Like no matter how much you get done, there's always something left, something more you can do. Like the person you are right now, it's just not enough. Not enough to become who you want to be. And you know you're not lazy, but for some reason, you just feel off. Like if you get stuck scrolling or staring or zoning out, you'll end up beating yourself up for wasting time, even though you were so tired you weren't going to be able to do anything anyways. And that guilt, it hits fast because you know what you're capable of. You've seen these glimpses of it, days where everything just clicks. You feel unstoppable. But the issue is, that version of you comes and goes. And there might be times where you're in that zone for a month. And then there's other times it's gone in a day. And once it leaves, it becomes rough. It becomes what you're constantly chasing, for good or bad. And a lot of times it's bad, because you might be lying in bed with the lights off, screen dimmed, just asking yourself why you didn't just get up earlier. Why you felt like you needed to watch an hour of TV. Because in the moment it might have felt good, but now you just feel like a failure. And all you can think about is why you're not where you want to be. And what's insane is no one ever checks on you. Because on the outside, you look like you're dialed in. But they don't see that war that you fight on the inside. They don't see you collapsing. But let me tell you, it's because you're carrying too much. You're not unmotivated. You're unacknowledged. You're not broken. You're buried. And maybe it's time someone finally told you, the version you're trying to earn, you can't earn him. You have to remember him, and you have to return to him. See, you've built a routine that would impress anyone. You wake up early, you eat clean, train hard, you check all the boxes. But the issue is, the second one thing falls out of place, everything unravels. One missed workout, one skipped task, one off hour, and suddenly it feels like failure. You're questioning your entire identity, and you're not even mad at the world. You're mad at yourself, because part of you thought you should be better than this by now. And what's even worse is that you don't envy success. You envy peace. You envy the people who can rest without guilt, who can smile without planning, who don't treat stillness like a threat. You didn't just build discipline. You build a maze you can't get out of. It's not a routine, it's performance you're exhausted from keeping up. A life that wins on paper but feels empty on the inside. And let me be the first to tell you, you can't outwork what you refuse to face. There's no checklist, no badge, no trophy that is going to be louder than the voice in your head if you never stop to confront it. You're not chasing excellence. You're avoiding silence. And the version of you that's numb, that's tired, that forgets what joy even feels like, he's not your weakness. He's your warning. You need to have a conversation with him. You need to ask him why he's here. Ask him what he needs. Because healing begins where avoidance ends. And sometimes the strongest thing you can do is to stop in your tracks. Tell yourself, I need space, not because I'm quitting, but because I've carried too much for too long. See, you spent years in overdrive, but what would happen if you practiced recovery with the same intensity? You wouldn't call your best friend weak for needing a break. So why do you do it to yourself? Rest isn't soft, it's strategic. It's not surrender, it's sustainability. Perfection is just a lie with good lighting. You see, you're constantly moving towards it, but the closer you get, the further it moves. It's a rigid mirror reflecting back what you think you're missing, but nothing real was ever flawless. Not your path, not your progress, not you. And that's where the beauty lies. The beauty's in the dents. It's in the delays, the days you showed up anyway. The real you isn't hiding in the highlight reel. He's down in the dirt where you fell and got back up. You want to know what real strength looks like? It's not just pushing harder. It's knowing when to stop performing. The shift doesn't shout. It whispers. When you miss a day and you don't spiral, when you rest and feel human, when you scroll and simply say, "All right, let's go again," that's not weakness, that's wisdom, that's growth. You don't need more drive, you need more grace. Not more goals, but more grounding. You can't find peace by sprinting harder. You find it by finally letting yourself breathe. So always remember this. You don't need a burnout just to prove you're on fire. You don't need a crash just to earn the right to rest. And you don't need to stay in pain just because it looks productive. You can walk away from the cycle, not because you're weak, but because you're wise enough to see it. And maybe the most powerful exit is just the one done in silence. No Instagram post, no panic, but just peace. Just a decision to stop running and to start returning. So what's one pressure you're finally ready to release? Because I know you're killing it, but deep down, you also know you're barely holding on. And if that's you, that's okay. Let this be your sign. You're not behind, you're just buried. And it's time to dig yourself out.